Well then, boys and girls, we've turned the season around. Now our job is to just make sure we finish in those Champions League spots so we get Champions League money to spend. And it would be quite nice to win the FA Cup as well. Right, as I was saying, if you're not fully up to date on the save, all the highlights are on the LOLLUJO 2 of the story so far. But bottom line, we started okay. It got a little bit iffy for a while. Now it's pretty good. We're in third place with 9 games left. Fingers crossed we're going to get into the Champions League. We're also still in the FA Cup. We only spent about £1 billion before Todd put the checkbook away. We did have money left over, but he took it all off me, which is unfortunate, really. Although, actually, the amount of gap we've got in that wage budget now, we're probably in a position to regenerate some transfer budget now. In fact, maybe let's just not tempt Todd. We've got a lot of our young players are out on loan as well. But the squad is looking pretty tasty and we are in very good form. Last night's stream, we only dropped points once against Everton. We started last night's stream against Wolves, and as you can see, it went quite well. So if we can have another evening with that kind of form, we're going to finish in third place because we can't catch Liverpool and Man City, but we'll finish third, get back into the Champions League and win the FA Cup as well. And all of that would be jolly, jolly good. So let's hit continue a few times. So this is a tactic. It's based on a 4-2-3-1 gegenpress, but we've got 2 inverted fullbacks and a libero. Liberos are cake. We're going to make it happen. We are making cake happen. And then just get the ball to Osimhen, Fatty and Kunku, Williams, let them do things. So these 4 are for defending. Pavard is for attacking. And then I guess these 3 are for defending. Pavard ends up here somewhere. He just dances around all over the place. Ooh! Youth intake. Why waste it on a goalkeeper? On a save, we are only going to do like 3 seasons max on. What are you doing giving me a 15-year-old goalkeeper? What use is that to anybody? I don't care how good he is. The fact he's 5'11" doesn't matter. He's 15. He'll be 6'4" by the time he's 18. That's not a problem. They do get taller. But what's the point of a goalkeeper on a youth intake in the beta? What am I going to do with that? Kofi Samaila is a striker who can also play on either wing. Sees another little one. They're all little when they're 15. They get bigger. This guy's already 6 feet. He's going to be massive. But, I mean, none of them are great, are they? Let's have a look. It's not called the dynamic timeline anymore. It's the manager timeline. So what have we got? Okay, this is actually better. This is kind of how I thought it would work when they announced it. So 7 prospects arrived for 398 million. That's good. A total of 7 players with huge potential were signed, including Costa and Gvardiol. Then long-serving Azpilicueta leaves. That's a weird one. I don't know who either of those people are, but then we've got 2 high rollers. Oh, high-profile players can be hard to sign in quick succession, but Kevin Chapman got 2 of them, including Victor Osimhen and Benjamin Pavard, for a grand total of 129 million. Then we've got some media stuff. Chelsea suffered a humiliating 4-1 defeat to fierce rivals Liverpool. What we need to happen, though, is for stuff like this to drop off again, for it to be truly dynamic. That's fine being on there this season. But if we were to play this for 15 years, who cares? That needs to drop off. Right. How good are Preston? We're probably going to put a rotated team out here. Wow. What a contrast to real life. Preston down in the relegation zone. It's very good for doing brand deals and things. It is a little bit glitchy for chat. The last comment on there is I found transfer budgets can increase massively. I read that one ages ago. Oh dear, we might get knocked out by Preston here. Maybe shouldn't have smack talked them. We might have to bring on some of our grown-up players. Some of our real boys. Yeah, non-league to legend will start on the day the game is out. So the game releases at 4 o'clock, 2 weeks today. So this time in 2 weeks, we'll be non-league to legending. Can't hear the lifeguard. Of course you can hear the lifeguard. They're bone conductive ones. They don't even go in her ears. They're on the side of her head. She can hear everything that's going on around her. I would very much argue with that rule. The ones that are designed specifically for swimming don't even go in your ears. Can we have Nottingham Forest, please? We'll actually go to this draw. Who do we think, what luminary of English football do we think is doing the FA Cup draw? And why is it probably going to be Steve Bruce? Okay. Wasn't expecting Makaleli. Fair enough. So I mean, he should be fixing this. Forest, please, if you know what's good for you. What is the point of having an inside man if he doesn't fix the draw for us? Ridiculous. Not ideal for Arsenal. We probably should have rotated even more against Preston. Still a decent enough team, though. Saw that comment on the Brighton video. You replied to a guy claiming you cheated. I know, it's adorable when people claim that. A, when do they think I've got time to do that? B, why would I bother to do that? Struggling is a great novelty that gets views. I didn't want to turn things around as much as we had. I'd have been happy with a mid-table season. This leapfrogs Arsenal back up above us again. Typical. We had all those matches last night where we didn't drop any points. First league game of the stream, we lose. After struggling to get past Preston. I mean, it's so obvious where the break in play came. Now we've got to play Man City. We'll lose against them as well. Normal service is resumed. That never changes from one FM to the next, does it? Goodness me. Let's go and beat Manchester City, shall we? Are we in danger of dropping out of the Champions League spots? Kinda. Newcastle are lurking, so we can't really afford to have another run of iffy games. Now we're playing the good teams again. Because if you actually track it back, this is when we struggled in the first half of the season, when we played everyone who was good in quick succession. We've got 8 games left, but in those 8 games, bear in mind we've just played Arsenal. So in our last 9 games in the league, we've got Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Villa, West Ham, Brighton. These are all the best teams in the league. We've got to play them all in quick succession. The reason this was so easy is because we didn't play anyone any good. In the league, I guess Newcastle are the only top half team in that list. That's why we had such a lovely amount of fun last night. We might not get into the Champions League after all. The reason my camera melted onto the camera mount is because I hadn't turned the camera off in 2 years. Is it crashing from instability with it being the early access, or does FM24 have a shorter ceiling than expected? No way of knowing, really. Have I ever tried to play FM via remote PC for my... No. Oh, no. That's poor. That was really poor defending. What are we doing there? I think that was Pavard, wasn't it? Is that Pavard there? Yeah, between Pavard and James, they've just let Haaland run through. Hello, my boy. Where are you on YouTube? Oh, okay. About the same. A 6.75 average and 6 goals is enough to win next gen these days, is it? Gavi is fuming. Ah, who's this guy? That name seems familiar. So I guess you know the drill now, boys and girls. These boys are all getting scouted. So we'll probably... Oh, Dewey, another one from last year. Should we get last year's posh team back together? I mean, we know it was the best team I built in FM23. So there's worse things I could do than reassemble that team. Let's have a look at this Brighton squad compared to mine. I mean, my version of Brighton's better than that version of Brighton. They haven't even got Fatty. Look, there he is. Look at that. Ward-Prowse, better than Caicedo. Just takes the ball off of him. We definitely signed the right one there. Oh, look at that football. Oh, if he's offside, I'm furious because that was beautiful football. The little touch from Fatty. Come on. This was a stunning goal. That touch from Fatty, goodness me. Topher demonstrating in the chat, he don't know ball. I think that's what the kids say. I'm getting very confused about which team I'm managing here. Oh, he's really shown Brighton what they could have won. You did the look. Yeah, I looked into the camera. I wasn't reading off the screen. As I've mentioned repeatedly, I've always looked into the camera. I'm a YouTuber. Looking into the camera is my job. If I did every video like this, you wouldn't watch me. Contacted Tom yet for the network game? I have not. I'm not going to do any of the organising. I'm talent. I'm not an organiser. I'll turn up at the time I'm told to turn up. I'm not doing any of the organisation. Goodness me, what do you think this is? I mean, we all earn far less money from a network game stream than we do from any other stream because our viewership is split between the four of us. As Jack has said quite openly, doing the network game financially is a bad idea for all of us. We'd all be better off just doing our normal streams and making our normal videos. We do it because it's fun, or we did it because it was fun. I think they're fun. I don't think from a business perspective they make sense for anybody. Because by its very definition, you're splitting your viewership. That's a lovely goal. We need to convince him to come and sign for us. That would be a wonderful thing. I'm being a DJ again. I don't know why I've started doing this. Shoulder resting on my water bottle and hands on my ears. This isn't tech, it's a work tool. All my tech are work tools. My scout reports are only showing useful backup, but on the report they're saying they're the best players in that position. Thoughts? Probably need to keep scouting them, I guess. According to the taxman. I mean, and according to the actual facts of the situation. Name a piece of tech I own that isn't used for work. Anything to do with gaming is owned by the business. Tablet, yeah, that's business. Mobile phone, yep, business. The ring that tracks that I track things on. I bought that for a video. The only rooms that we actually have light bulbs in is probably the kitchen and the landing. Everywhere else, we just use the lights on our phones. Because we can't be bothered to change the light bulbs. Oh, who's this? Hello, Wesley. Have you come to work? Oh, lovely. I mean, there's no way. We're leaving you on the bench for today, but it's lovely of you to turn up. Welcome along. Wesley's here, everybody. How is it a prop for the stream? Because I literally bought it to do a bit on the stream about how I now own it, but will never need it. And every now and again, we talk about it. I hold it up and say, look, still don't need it. It's still unused. I only own it so that I can do that on the stream. Over. Right, we're back up into third place with 4 games to go. We do still have to play Liverpool and Manchester United. Look at these incredible bottle jobs, though. Don't understand how Liverpool have not won the league this season. Gabriel Moscado. We've got extensive knowledge of it. Yeah, we're going to sign this guy. 4 million up front. And then 9 on the Never Never. Well, then you can have 2.5 up front if you're going to be silly. There you go. And then Gabriel Misui, we're going to sign him as well. We're getting the youngsters in. So they want 21 million for him. They did take all my cash, but now we're spending next season's cash because they haven't taken that yet. So this will come out of next season's budget, which still exists at the moment. Minimum guaranteed budget of 87.5 million for next year. And because we're past the closing of the transfer window, these transfers take place next year, so they come out of next year's budget. Right, it looks like England are going to get that 5th coefficient spot, so even if we finish 5th, we get into the Champions League. Right. Look, he's back. Little Wesley. Little Wesley is back. Oh, it's lovely. How do we check on the progress of his broken leg? He doesn't have a recurring injury, apparently, which, I mean, if they're not recurring injuries, he is made of glass. So damaged cruciate ligaments in that leg, torn knee ligaments in that leg. He broke the other leg. Damaged kneecap in that leg. There feels like there's a problem with that knee. Shoot! Maybe not you. Someone else shoot. Yeah, if you're outside of the UK and want to get that UK discount, just use NordVPN to UK yourself up. Look at Costa coming out and basically playing as a centre-back. Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh, Victor! Victor! How has he missed? Oh, maybe. Penalty kick. Come on, somebody do a football. Kick it in the goal. Yeah. I mean, this could be pre-recorded for all I know. The amount of times I get accused of that. Are we on like full match now or something? What's going on? Oh, there we go. We're signing this guy as well. Very exciting. Right, let's go beat Liverpool. Easy work. Is that Jack's official marketing message? I've seen that exact wording posted a couple of times in the chat now. Jack does not want to stream FM at night for personal reasons. Just doesn't want to do it. It doesn't need to be a formal statement. Got to remember, Jack is making a killing on YouTube at the moment. So there's no reason for him to water down his ever-growing bank balance by doing something that won't make him much money. Is he still playing Minecraft? Is that his personal reasons? I really need to stop paying for that server. Someone put that in Slack, Topher. Remind me to stop paying for that server. I don't think anyone's been on it for months. It's probably full of AI now that Jack's built. I might just take a backup of it and then start a stream where I'm on Jack's base on the backup of it, and I just cover it in TNT and tell him if he doesn't do the network game, I'm blowing up his base. Come on, do a football, boys. Oh, we might do a football. A football? Lovely. How many games we got left? 2. 2 more games remaining. Come on, we want Champions League. Would I prefer Hampton or Richmond, though? I'll love them both equally. At least that'll be what I say in interviews. Imagine if we go to an FA Cup replay against Dagenham and Redbridge, and you've got Brighton and Hove versus Hampton and Richmond or Dagenham and Redbridge in the next round. 6 teams involved in one tie. It's basically a Royal Rumble at that point. There's no probably about it. It's not true. I don't have an OnlyFans. Is that not confirmed? Oh, fiddlesticks. I mean, top 5 is confirmed, and we've got the coefficient thing, but I guess the game doesn't recognise it yet. So it's not actually confirmed. We could still finish 5th, and Todd can still sack me, especially after the bumhole. I retract the bumhole comment, Todd. We're big buddies. Who wants Topher? Parasite. Oh, look at them lurking now. Oh, here we go. Bunch of lurkers. We've got Paris Saint-Germain and Saudi Arabia lurking for all my players. Oh, I have like 8 plans. I don't know which one I'm doing yet. Oh, that's a very annoying way to finish 5th. You mean beyond the early access? No, I mean beyond the beta. This is still a beta version. So I'd really like to turn this ship around. There you go. We're back up to 4th now. Newcastle are bottling it as well. There you go. We're fine. We're in the Champions League. We're not getting sacked. Todd's happy. We've qualified for the Champions League. Budgets, boys and girls. Remember, our minimum guaranteed budget was 87.5 million. We've already spent about 20 million of it, but we've qualified for the Champions League, so I'm expecting Todd to give me about 400 million. We're only 400 million in debt. That's fine. That's plenty. That's absolutely plenty. And there we have it, boys and girls. There is your final league table at the end of season 1 of The Save. To summarise, we spent £1 billion to do it. It was only a net spend of about 450 million, which, how does that compare with Chelsea's real life net spend? It's probably a little higher. But in real life, they're not getting in the Champions League. So I did better than the fella they've got there who doesn't play with a striker. Finished 4th. Hazard. Osimhen, after being rubbish the first half of the season, actually finished 3rd on the top score as well. He is going to be a lovely boy next year. Wow, he's a 4.5 star. Is he in the Dream 11? He's not as good as Salah, apparently. But Gvardiol and James are. Osimhen is considered our best player. I don't actually know how I assume there's still a season review. This is the first season I've finished in FM24. I've not finished a season. I've had lots of little practice saves, but I've not finished a season. There you go. We do get a season review. So, there we have it. End of... No trophies. The new arrivals. There were a few. Signing of the season, João Neves. Absolutely can't argue with that. He was a phenomenal signing. He's been great. If you judge it by average rating, which we can do, Meslier. Oh, actually, they've given Meslier signing of the season. The guy who played 10 games and is our backup goalkeeper. We spent £1 billion and signing of the season went to our backup goalkeeper. Nkunku, obviously I didn't sign. Rooney, Bargy, we didn't really use. Of the players that I signed that we actually used, the best one has been Gvardiol by rating. Obviously Osimhen scored lots of goals. Costa's been great. And I think Neves is going to be a superstar. Goals-wise, Osimhen scored more than every... Yeah, I mean... We did good transfers. That's the important thing. We were supposed to qualify for the Champions League, and we did. It was a little bit iffy at times, but we finished 4th. Hazard, average attendance, close to maxing out Stamford Bridge, but apparently we're building a new stadium or expanding our stadium or something. There's something in hand that I'm not fully aware of. Our moments to remember, big wins. Big, fat, smelly wins, all in the second half of the season, because that's when we got good. Finance-wise, we don't need to worry. Finances are for cowards. Look at all this money. Back in the Champions League as well. It's only going to get bigger. I imagine we're going to get some juicy sponsorship deals starting to come in as well. Victor Osimhen sells more shirts than anybody. I mean, all 5 of them are players I signed, so you're welcome, Todd. I've basically sold you 650,000 football shirts there. That's all me. And this was the team of the year. So it has settled into the 4-2-3 one we used for the second half of the season. Can't really argue with it. Costa, Gvardiol, Tomori, Colwill, James, Ward-Prowse. I would probably put Neves in there ahead of, or Ugarte even ahead of Fernandes. We weren't really using Enzo second half of the season, at least not from the start. Todd was right about Fatty all along. Nkunku, Williams, and then Osimhen up front. Interesting that the tactical style is still wing play, because we did wing play for more of the season than the Gegenpress we switched to, but the formation has switched to the one we used with the Gegenpress. Apparently I scored 18 goals for England. I've only just noticed that. Player of the year, Levi Colwill. Young player of the year, Levi Colwill. I mean, he's done all right, hasn't he? Signing of the season. Although we spent £1 billion and Levi Colwill's player of the year. Meslier, as we saw, signing of the season. Can we actually view goal of the season this year? Nope. Nope. Victor Osimhen, 20 goals, top scorer. Nico Williams, most assists. Lukaku, most man of the matches. Probably all off the bench as well. Highest average rating was on Nkunku. And we've also set some records for these things because it's season 1. Although we did break the transfer record, selling Mason Mount for £95 million. And now, the manager timeline. Again, like we had a little look at it earlier in the stream. As long as these bits come out, as time goes on, that's fine. For it to be truly dynamic, stuff needs to be added in and out. But I like it. It's massively improved. Massively improved on last year's managed timeline. If it's genuinely dynamic as well, that is a big, big upgrade. And that, boys and girls, is the end of the stream, because tomorrow we are going to go and spend all of that money and get ready for season 2. Let's find somebody to raid.